Hello and welcome to the official channel of Reinforced Quantity Surveyors and Training Private Limited. It's the venture company of Reinforced Construction and Projects Private Limited. My name is Sohail. Today I'm here with the first lecture related to the quantity survey. So I'll be discussing the whole things related to the quantity surveying. But before starting that, let me give the brief introduction about the different departments that are being involved in any construction project. Like the first one is the execution department, surveying department, planning department, testing department, and executive department. That will include the general managers and so and all. Okay. So this thing is only because I will be explaining you the career opportunities that you do have once you complete your engineering. So most of the civil engineers are unaware about different career opportunities they do have, but that will need some specialized skills you should have to achieve the job in different departments. So most of the engineers are aware about that the site engineer is the only job that they can opt for after the completion of their graduation. But that's not the case. You can work in different departments like surveying, planning, and testing department as well. But you need some specialized skills to work on. Like suppose if you want to be a land surveyor, you should be well acquainted with the knowledge of all surveying instruments and the techniques that are being used in the project. Okay, so this whole lecture will be related to the quantity surveying. I'll be explaining the importance of quantity surveyor in any project from starting till finishing of that project. Okay, so this thing I have included only to give you some brief introduction about the departments included in the civil engineering. Okay, so let us start. This lecture will be related to the quantity surveying. I'll be discussing what is quantity surveying, what is the importance of quantity surveying, and the role which is being played by quantity surveyor in the successful delivery of any project. So who can be the QS? This is also the question that might come in your mind. And where does quantity surveyor works? And the quantity surveyor services, estimation, explanation. These are all the questions that I will be explaining you. So please be with me till the end of this video. Once I am done with this portion, I'll be also showing you some professional works, like if you are a QS, what kind of professionalism you should show in your work. I'll be showing you a project as well that will include the formatting of different and formatting of different aspects. Okay, I'll be showing you the drawings as well, how to initiate the work as a quantity surveyor. Okay, so let's start our lecture from here. So please focus on this slide. The most of the questions that I have included in this slide will be only answered from this particular slide. Okay, you can see here there is a chart in which I have included a project, how a project starts, where does the quantity surveyor plays his role before the tendering process and after the tendering process. This whole process is being included in a project before the actual execution of the project. Okay, so let me start this thing. So please show your focus on this thing. I will be explaining it from starting till finishing. Okay, so let's start. Suppose a government has to build any project, like it is a school building that a government is planning to construct. Okay, so Haryana government has planned to is planning to construct a building, that is school building. You can see it here. So you must be aware about that thing, that how the initial value of the project is being fixed. Okay, so first of all, the government has planned to construct a school building. The details of this project will be forwarded to the PWD office. PWD office. Suppose if you are a government engineer, you will be working with the PWD department. Okay, you will be working with the PWD department. Suppose you are a structural engineer, you will be doing the structural part, and if you are an architect, you will be doing the architecture work. And if you are a quantity surveyor, you have to do the estimation analysis. Okay, The first of all, once the project has been proposed, the there will be site investigation that will include the geological investigation of that particular site to collect the design aspects data from that particular site. And this data is being considered by structural engineers to design the structure, and architect will also make the plans. These both professionals work together to make the finalized drawings and design specifications of this project. Okay, once this portion is done by the structural engineer and architects, the role of quantity surveyor comes into play to do the estimation part and budgeting of that project. So the main work of the quantity surveyor who is working in the government side or client side has to make the BOQ, that's bill of quantities. I'm here right now. Okay, I'm here. Has to make the BOQ. So what are the requirements for quantity surveyor to make a detailed bill of quantities? He will consider the drawings that are being designed by structural engineer and will consider the architect plans that has been planned by any architect. These whole process will include the calculation of the budgeting of any project. Okay, not only this thing, the quantity surveyor will also consider the schedule of rates. Suppose this project is being constructed in Haryana, the estimation engineer will consider HSR, that is Haryana schedule of rates, that has been framed by that government. And suppose if this project is going to be constructed in any state like Jammu and Kashmir, then the quantity survey or estimation will accordingly choose the schedule of rates that is being framed by the Jammu and Kashmir government. Okay, so considering all these things, the estimation engineer will be able to make the budgeting of this project. Make the budgeting of this project. He will be able to calculate the quantities from the drawings, structural drawing and architect plans, and then he will do the rate analysis as well. So here comes the final value, that is around 15 crore. And you can see here the amount that comes out from here after the budgeting analysis is called the tender value. You have to note that the amount which is being fixed by the client or government is called tender value, is called tender value. Then there is a tendering process. Tendering process depends upon the government. Tendering process will be the sole discretion of the government or client whether they will go for the open tendering or closed tendering. It is a vast process of tendering. It will include the financial bidding, technical bidding, and it also includes the post bid meeting, pre bid meeting. So that whole process is being decided by the client or government. Okay, so let's suppose consider this project has been is to be done under the e-tendering process, online e-tendering process. Okay, so these are the different companies that are going to bid the contract. These companies are going to bid the contract. Okay, so in e-tendering process, a company is able to receive the information, receive the details of the project like BOQ and drawings. So till here you have got that quantity surveyor is doing his part from the client side to make the BOQ. It is clear right now that till here, till the before the e-tendering process, the working of QS is to make the detailed BOQ and do the budgeting of any project. Okay, so once the e-tendering process starts, the companies and the different companies will be able to see this BOQ and drawings as well. Okay, then suppose let's consider these companies have shown the interest to take this project. Okay, so in these companies like L&T, DLF, Fcon, Patel, Soma, GRX, they will be having their own separate QS team. They will be having their own separate QS team who will be doing the estimation analysis of this project before doing that tendering process. Okay, so that the company will be able to find the margin of profit before the tendering process or taking the project. Okay, so suppose let's consider that the QS team that L&T have done the analysis of this BOQ and drawing, and they have considered the margin of profit for their company as well. And L&T is ready to execute this project at the cost of 13 crore, and DLF is ready to execute this project at the cost of 14, and simultaneously it goes on. Now, there might be a question in your mind that why this value is comes out different for different companies. Why, if the project is same, details are same, how there is a variation in the how Afcon is going to execute this project at 14.3, and how L&T is going to execute this project at 13 crore. Okay, so let me explain you that, like, L&T is having some advanced technologies. They are using some equipments which might not be present, which might not be available with other companies. So the cost will definitely come different from other companies. They'll be using some advanced technologies. So, and most importantly, there is one more thing: each and every company will be considering different amount of different margin of profit. Okay, it is the sole description of company how much of profit they are going to decide. So from where this value comes for L&T, 13 crore that I have shown here, from where this 13 crore comes out from internal preliminary estimate. Internal preliminary estimate. And the variation can be due to the difference here. Before the e-tendering process, the QS has done the budgeting as per the HSR or DSR. But if you are working in company, you have to do the analysis as per the current market rate. I hope it's clear to all of you, and the cost comes different. Now, it is the sole discretion of the contractor or government side to achieve this contract, to give this contract to any of the companies among them. But always remember that the tender is going to be awarded to only that company which is having some good work background record and reputation in the past. Okay, so let's suppose this tender has been awarded. Let's suppose this tender has been awarded to any company like L&T, which is having the good reputation, having the good reputation of the work. Okay, sorry, hold on, there is some technical issue. Okay, so the contract has been awarded to L&T. Now this 13 crore is called the project value. L&T is ready to execute this whole project at the cost of 13 crore. This is called the project value. Now you will be easily able to identify what is the difference between the tender value and project value. Okay, so contractor quantity surveyors prepares the bill of the works which has been executed. The quantity surveyors will be able to will have to also make the bill preparation as well. So here one question comes in my mind, that what is the difference between the quantity surveyor and billing engineer? Billing engineer has to handle only the billing part, but the QS has to also make the calculation of the quantities of each and everything. Okay, so in whole construction process, you have to remember that whenever we are doing the budgeting, we had to consider the 3M analysis. That is 3M: material, manpower, and machineries. Material is here, and the manpower, it includes labor estimation, and machinery is the equipments that we are going to use in the construction. Okay, so I hope now it's clear to all of you that what is the role of quantity surveyor before the construction. The whole process that I have explained so far, is being done before the construction process. So what is the role of quantity surveyors? He has to make the detailed BOQ before the tendering process if he is being working in the client side or government side. And at the time of bidding, if he is working in any company that have shown the interest to go for this project, and he will do the preliminary estimate as per the current market rate. This whole process is being done before the execution of the project or starting of the during construction and execution. What is the role? Let me explain you. Suppose this project has been awarded to L&T. This has been awarded to L&T. The amount of this the project value is now 13 crore. Now the quantity surveyors that are working in L&T will do the analysis of this part, and as per the work order they will make the detailed estimation of the work order, so that and once the project has been awarded, they will get the whole details of this project to do the analysis of this part, and make the requirement of material, manpower and machineries accordingly. Then this data is being considered by the planning engineer to plan the project and to do the tracking of the project as well. And after the construction, it will include the solvation, and if there is any sort of discrepancy in the project, that is also being solved by planning department and managing department. Okay, this thing is now clear to you that quantity surveying is a profession in construction industry where the learned professionals will contribute in calculating. What are they calculating? They will be giving the cost analysis of this project, quantity required for the project, इसमें कितना sand cement aggregate लगेगा, that will also include in it budgeting, budget, bill of quantities, BOQ, bill preparations and bill certifications as well. Okay, this whole process is being calculated by the quantity surveyor, and the quantity surveyor plays an important role in the budgeting controlling of any project. Okay, yeah, these are the things that are being involved इन चीजों को ही एक quantity surveyor को हमेशा consider करना पड़ेगा. So there is not only the cost is not only related with the material, manpower, machineries. There is also the site preparation cost, construction cost, labor, material, professional taxes. And one thing I would like to add on here is the salary of the professionals that are involved in the project is also being associated with the construction of the construction cost of that project. Okay, so I hope it's clear till now. Now let's proceed furthermore. Yeah, here the importance of quantity surveying. The importance of quantity surveying in construction works, one of the most calculator related to quantity, time and cost takes place. Without it's hard to find survive in construction industry. The importance of quantity surveys are very vital from starting of the project till finishing of the completion of the project. Okay, so if you have to understand the importance of quantity surveying surveyor in the project, suppose let's consider that a company is going to construct a project. They don't have any idea about the amount of material required for it and the execution. So there might be the loss of money, and a quantity surveyor plays good role in doing the budget controlling to avoid the unnecessary materials. Suppose if we are going to construct a building that will require only 50 ton 60 ton reinforcement, that has to be calculated before the execution of the project. And if we are not doing this analysis, we might go for 80 to 100 ton, and the rest can be the wastage, and it won't help us to do the budget controlling of this project. Okay, and now these are the requirements. If you wish to build up your career in this field, you have to be very lucid with these things. You should be able to read each and every architect drawing, construction drawing, tender drawing and contract drawings. So once you are very fluent with these things, then and only then you will be able to make a bill of quantities. Okay, yeah. Now, I don't think so. I need to explain it once again. Who can be the QS, where the QS works, and what is quantity surveying, how quantity surveying takes place. I hope all these questions are being answered in this presentation. One, who can be the QS who is having the professional expert proficiency with the, all kinds of drawings to read all type of structural and architect drawings. The civil engineer can be the quantity survey. Okay, now where quantity surveyor plays role, that has been already discussed in the previous slide. Like before the starting of the project, he plays in role to make the budgeting of that project, and giving a chance to company to decide whether they will go for this project or not. This is the, and what is quantity surveying? Quantity surveying has been already explained, like it's the budgeting controlling of any project. how how it's being done, I will be showing you some professional examples in this video, so please be with me, so please bear with me. I hope this video will definitely help you to get through this, to know the importance of quantity surveying. Okay, if you see the quantity surveying, there are a lot of vacancies in the current trend in different like Gulf countries. There are a lot of vacancies for quantity surveying, but they need a professional, they need a profession, they need a professional who is well trained, who is already aware of all these things to do the quantity surveying job. Okay, yeah. So quantities, where does quantity surveyor works? If you are aware of all these things, how quantity surveyor works, what is the importance of quantity surveying, how you can do the quantity surveying part, you are very much aware about each and every skill that you need to do the quantity surveying job. So there are a lot of opportunities for you to get the job in private construction companies, government companies, private consultancies, private developer, property developers, commercial organizations, and project management consultant offices. Apart from that, if you are well versed with the quantity surveying skills, you can also start your PMC. That is a zero investment. You can take the projects from different companies and do the work from home as well. So a lot of opportunities for you people to do. If you are a civil engineer, you should focus on these things. And the main thing is that, why do we lag behind the civil engineers that come out from different institutions like IITs and NITs? So they're mostly very much unfamiliar with the structural and architectural drawing, because that is not the part of our academics, that is not being taught in our college, how to read the drawing. If you can imagine how a civil engineer can work, how a civil engineer can work at the site. If he is totally unaware about the design aspects, he even don't know to read, how to read the drawing, how to check the details in the drawing, how he can be able to do the site execution part as well. So it's a very alarming thing for you. This quantity surveyor will also help. You can also then work in the site execution department as well. Okay, so I hope it's clear to all of you that you are having tremendous amount of career opportunities if you are well versed with the quantity surveying. So let's proceed furthermore. This is the scope of quantity surveying, and now let's proceed furthermore. So I have mentioned some simple data over here, so that to give you an clue. These There are some units that we need to consider. The data like this should be on the fingertips of any quantity surveyor, so that he will be able to easily and fastly calculate the quantities. Okay, yeah. With all these skills place, quantity surveyor is a strong position to take a leading managerial role throughout the development of project and run the construction company. Okay, so quantity surveyor is a professional job. You will be working in the office. You do not need to rush at the site all the time. You will be doing your job in the office, and there might be hardly few site visits you have to do. Yeah, but the one thing you need to deal with the structural and architectural drawings. So this was all about how to do the quantity surveying part. What is the importance of quantity surveying? How, what is the requirement to build your professional career as a quantity surveyor? Okay, so I hope this thing is clear to each and every one of you. And now I will be discussing how you had to read the drawings, from where you can initiate your work to do the quantity surveying job. Okay, just bear with me, please bear with me. I'll be sharing some few more structural drawings. Yeah, this is the important thing for you people. You can see it is a structural drawing of a foundation. There are different, I will not be explaining it in detail, but I'm showing it only to give you an idea about the quantity surveying, how quantity survey works, how he deals with the drawings. Suppose this structure has been built by the structural engineer, and each and everything has been done so far. Now we are planning to execute this project. We don't know how much of cement, sand, aggregate, labor is to be is going to be cost is going to be included in this project. Okay, now it's the working of quantity surveyor to do that part. The first thing that quantity surveyor will do is the quantity takeoff. First of all, the quantity surveyor will do quantity takeoff and will calculate the number of footings that are going to be constructed in this particular structure. He will be calculating these footings, how many number of footings are there, and we'll do the tally part as well. Tally, it's called tally, to cross check whether the number of footings that are being recorded is similar with the actual or not. Okay, so once he will do the tally, he will take the data and dimensions of each and every footing that are being used in this structure from this chart. Suppose you can see it. I will be zooming it. Yeah, see. Yeah, see. In this whole structure, the footings used are F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7, F8, and CF1, CF2, and accordingly goes on. Okay, so the quantity survey has calculated the number of footings that are going to be constructed in this project. Now he will take the dimensions from here. This is called the schedules of footing details. He will take the dimensions from here of each and every individual footing, and will consider this data for calculating the quantities. Okay, and this data is being considered for calculating the BBS. What is BBS? It's bar bending schedule. It's one of the most important and interesting and challenging topic for any quantity surveyor to do the BBS of any structure, because every drawing comes with a new challenge in front of us. Every drawing is having some different specifications. We need to understand each and every aspect to calculate the most probable and most exact amount of reinforcement in the execution. Okay, so I was the my intention showing this drawing was only this, that no civil engineer, most of the civil engineers who are freshers are mostly unaware about these kind of drawings. How can they read these drawings? How to check the detailing process, reinforcement detailing in the footings or any other RCC member? Okay, so I hope this is clear to now, that the civil engineer, the quantity surveyor will be considering the data that is being provided in the drawing. Now, what is the next step of the professional working of any quantity surveyor? So once he will calculate the number of footings here,